Anna Delvey, a very extravagant narcissist. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, and those of you that have regularly embraced my work know that I provide you with unrivaled look into the minds of my kind to help you understand the way that we think, the way that we function, why we have the dynamic that we do with our victims. Narcissists can be found all around the world. They're in your family. They may be sleeping in the bed next to you. They may be in your friendship groups. They may be amongst the people that you work with, peers, a boss, people beneath you. It could be the person serving you in the shop, the individual that you've called on a customer service line. We walk the earth in romantic realms, social environments, familial setups, work environments. We entertain you. We govern the countries in which you reside, and we can be found in all manner of different fields. Many people, of course, come across our kind as a consequence of a romantic ensnarement or as a consequence of having narcissists in their family. Those are the two most common ensnarements that occur. However, more and more people are starting to realize that famous or infamous individuals may well be narcissists. And as part of that, I created the A Very series, where I examine a number of people to ascertain, do they cross the evidential threshold to be found to be a narcissist? I, of course, undertake this privately for people so they can determine through the narc detector whether that person in their life is a narcissist or not, and if they are, the reasons why, and also if they are, what type of narcissist they are by reference to school and cadre and the reasons why. And it's extremely helpful. The testimonials demonstrate the efficacy of that particular test. I, however, do this through the A Very series to help people understand more about the behaviours of people that they know about so that they can grasp why they do as they do, and also to extend knowledge about narcissism by using famous and infamous prominent examples. In the A Very series, we have already, of course, Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, Boris Johnson, President Trump, President Biden, Alec Baldwin, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, Amber Heard, Shane Dawson, Oscar Pistorius, Chris Watts, Brian Laundrie, and many others. And all you need to do is search the names of the people that you'd be interested in to see that I've covered them, or just go to the playlist, the A Very series, and you will find the raft of information that I've created there. We put these people under the Tudor scope. If you have a burning desire to know whether somebody is a narcissist in your private life, then you can use the narc detectors I've mentioned. If you want to know about somebody that's famous or infamous, you can use the Know the Narcissist tool that you'll find in the Knowledge Vault, where you can submit certain names to ascertain is this person a narcissist or not. And in other instances, also find out what type of narcissist they are. I put these people under the Tudor scope, and now my attention has turned to Anna Delvey, or more accurately, Anna Vadimovna Sorokina, who is a Russian convicted fraudster who was born on the 23rd of January 1991. Between 2013 and 2017, while living in the United States, she pretended to be a wealthy German heiress under the name Anna Delvey, and in 2017 she was arrested after allegedly defrauding banks, hotels and acquaintances of a total of $275,000. She was convicted of multiple counts of attempted grand larceny, larceny in the second degree, and theft of services in relation to these offences in 2019. A television adaptation of her story, titled Inventing Anna, was developed by Netflix, and I know that many of you have watched this already. She is currently held in custody by US Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Anna Vadimovna Sorokina was born on the 23rd of January 1991 in Domodedovo, a working-class satellite town south of Moscow. She was one of 2 children of the family. Her father worked as a truck driver, while her mother owned a small convenience store before becoming a housewife. Sorokin was later described by a Russian classmate as an excellent student and strong in character, but she could easily offend. The family relocated to Germany in 2007 when Anna was 16. She attended the girls' gymnasium in Eschweiler and was described by peers there as a quiet girl who had a difficult time with German language. Sorokin graduated from gymnasium, secondary school, in 2011 and relocated to London to attend Central Saint Martin, but quit and returned to Germany. She worked as an intern at a public relations company before relocating to Paris to begin an internship for the French fashion magazine Purple. At that time, she started calling herself Anna Delvey. Her parents have said that they do not recognize the surname. During the summer of 2013, Sorokin travelled to New York City to attend New York Fashion Week. Finding it easier to make friends in New York than Paris, she opted to stay, transferring to Purple's New York office for a brief time. Some time after quitting Purple, she invented the idea of the Anna Delvey Foundation, a private members' club and art foundation, and proposed it to various wealthy members of the city's social scene, including Abby Rosen and Rue Rogers. Her proposal included leasing the Church Missions House as a multi-purpose events venue and art studio. In 2015, Sorokin met Michael Hwang at a dinner party. At the time, he was a student at the University of Pennsylvania with plans to open a private art museum. Upon learning that Hwang planned to attend the Venice Biennale, Sorokin asked him if she could accompany him. Hwang agreed and booked a flight and hotel room for Sorokin on the understanding that he would be reimbursed. Upon their return to New York, Sorokin appeared to forget the arrangement and failed to pay. Hwang initially assumed that Sorokin was simply absent-minded. However, after Hwang attended Sorokin's birthday party at Sadelle's in January 2016, the restaurant contacted him to ask if he had Sorokin's contact details. She had booked the event with an invalid credit card number and false contact details. At this time, Hwang theorized that Sorokin may be a con artist and pressed her to pay. He was eventually repaid, but from a Venmo account by an unfamiliar name. Having had little success in pitching her foundation idea to investors, Sorokin decided to obtain the money required through alternative means. She created fake bank statements, purporting to show that she had access to about 60 million euros stored in Swiss bank accounts, and in November 2016 submitted these as part of a loan application for $22 million to City National Bank. City National Bank refused to extend credit when Sorokin failed to provide them with bank statements attesting to the Swiss assets, and she took the loan application to another company, Fortress Investment Group. Fortress agreed to consider the application if Sorokin paid $100,000 to cover legal expenses relating to the application. To obtain this money, Sorokin returned to City National Bank and convinced an employee to grant her a temporary overdraft facility for that amount, on the promise that it would be repaid quickly. A managing director at Fortress became suspicious of Sorokin's application owing to discrepancies in her paperwork. For example, she claimed to be of German heritage, but her passport showed her as being born in Russia. When the director arranged to verify Sorokin's assets by meeting her bankers in Switzerland, she withdrew the loan application to prevent further scrutiny. The portion of the overdraft not spent by Fortress as part of the due diligence process, amounted to $55,000, was returned to Sorokin. Of this, the majority was spent on luxury clothing and hotel stays. Sorokin checked into the 11 Howard Hotel in Soho in February 2017 and quickly became known by the hotel staff as a generous cash tipper, frequently giving staff members a $100 bill for simple tasks. After management discovered that there was no credit card on file for Sorokin, they insisted that she settle her $30,000 bill. Sorokin had a bottle of 1975 Dom Perignon champagne delivered to the concierge desk in an attempt to keep the staff on her side. However, hotel policy prevented the staff from keeping the gift. In April 2017, Sorokin deposited $160,000 worth of fraudulent checks into a Citibank account, of which she was able to receive $70,000 in usable funds. She then wired a portion of these funds to 11 Howard to pay the outstanding bill. However, since she still refused to provide a credit card, the hotel evicted her. The next month, she successfully convinced charter flight booking service Blade to allow her to book a return flight to Omaha, Nebraska, without paying the $35,390 fee up front. Sorokin sent Blade a forged wire transfer confirmation slip, purported from Deutsche Bank, as part of the scheme. Blade was convinced to extend credit partly because Sorokin had met company CEO Rob Wiesenstahl at a party, and the executive team believed that she represented an acceptable lending risk. Wiesenthal reported her to the police in August 2017 after repeated failure to pay. Sorokin invited 3 friends on what she then told them was an all-expenses-paid journey to Marrakech, Morocco in May 2017, supposedly because she needed to reset her electronic system for travel authorization. A few days after arriving at La Mamuna, hotel staff said that they had been unable to charge Sorokin's credit cards and demanded an alternative form of payment. Sorokin eventually convinced one of her companions, Rachel Deloche Williams, to pay the $62,000 bill for their stay, with a promise to reimburse her via wire transfer. Williams later paid for other expenses during the trip, including items purchased by Sorokin and a visit to the Margerelle Garden. Despite repeated promises from Sorokin, no wire transfer occurred. Upon returning from Morocco during May, Sorokin relocated to the Beekman Hotel, again managing to book without leaving a credit card on file. Around 3 weeks later, having accumulated a bill of $11,518 and failing to pay despite repeated promises to do so, the Beekman also evicted her. She then stayed at the Hotel West New York Union Square, where she attempted a similar scam. However, she was evicted again after only 2 days. The Beekman and the W Hotels pressed charges against Sorokin for theft of services. At this time, Sorokin was also being investigated independently by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for the instances of bank fraud. A grand jury was convened in August 2017 to consider the charges against Sorokin. It eventually indicted her on 2 counts of attempted grand larceny in the first degree, 3 counts of grand larceny in the second degree, 1 count of grand larceny in the third degree, and 1 count of misdemeanor theft of services. The most serious charge related to the fraudulent loan application made to City National Bank and Fortress Investment Group, with the other larceny charges relating to the instances of cheque fraud and the incident in Morocco. The theft of services charge related to Sorokin's failure to pay hotel and restaurant bills. Sorokin was arrested on the 3rd of October 2017 in a sting operation planned by Michael McCaffrey, a new NYPD police officer working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. At the time, Sorokin was staying at the Passages Malibu, an addiction treatment facility in Los Angeles County, California. Officer McCaffrey had Rachel Williams, Sorokin's former friend, arrange a lunch meeting at a restaurant near the facility in order to convince Sorokin to leave. When Sorokin left the facility, she was arrested by officers from the LAPD. On 26 October 2017, Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. formally announced the indictment against Sorokin and asked for any other victims to make themselves known. On the 18th of December 2018, Sorokin appeared in New York City Criminal Court and rejected a plea deal that offered 3 to 9 years in prison. A trial started on the 20th of March 2019, presided over Judge Diane Kissel. Sorokin's defense attorney, Todd Spodek, arranged for a professional stylist to source outfits for her court appearances, stating that it is imperative that Anna dress appropriately for the trial. In response, the prosecutor said Sorokin showed more concern for her attire than the emotions of those she hurt, and seemed to revel at the plight of her victims. On the Friday of the trial, Sorokin refused to enter the courtroom because she didn't want to appear in her prison-issued clothing, and her civilian outfit for the day had not been pressed. Judge Cazell ordered Sorokin to appear, stating, "This is a trial. She is a defendant in a criminal case. I am sorry if her clothing is not up to her standards, but she's got to be here." In Sorokin's defense, Spodek claimed that she had been trying to pay back all of the debt. He further attempted to describe her as an entrepreneur, and even compared her to Frank Sinatra, claiming that they both created a golden opportunity in New York. On the 25th of April 2019, after deliberating for 2 days, a jury found Sorokin guilty of 8 charges, including grand larceny in the second degree, attempted grand larceny, and theft of services. Sorokin was found not guilty of 2 other charges, one of attempted grand larceny in the first degree, relating to the original loan application with City National Bank, and one of larceny in the second degree, relating to the alleged theft of $62,000 from Rachel Williams in Marrakech. On the 9th of May 2019, Sorokin was given a sentence of 4 to 12 years in state prison, fined $24,000, and ordered to pay restitution of about $199,000. Sorokin was incarcerated at Rikers Island during the trial. After the trial, Sorokin, inmate #19G0366 of the New York State Department of Corrections, was initially housed at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, before being transferred to Albion Correctional Facility. Sorokin was released from prison on the 11th of February 2021. In March 2021, she was taken back into custody by Immigration and Customs Enforcement for overstaying her visa. She is currently being held in a New Jersey county jail by ICE, awaiting deportation to Germany. That is the abridged story of Anna Sorokin, also known as Anna Delvey, an individual that came to the United States and defrauded individuals, sought to defraud banks, and defrauded hotels. She lived a lavish lifestyle. She built up a coterie around her. She was then ultimately, of course, caught, tried, and convicted, and spent time in prison. But what is she? Is she a narcissist? Is something more at work with regard to the way that she has behaved? I will take you through all of the information about Anna Sorokin, Anna Delvey, to help you understand, is she a narcissist? Is she something else? And whatever the outcome is, I will provide you with my detailed and unrivaled forensic dissection of her behaviours to help you understand whether Anna Delvey is a very extravagant narcissist. Look out for the detailed breakdown coming soon. In the meantime, share your observations in the comments section by applying the knowledge that you've learnt already from my work. Do you think that she's a narcissist? Do you think that she's something else? What do you think of her behaviour? If you think she's a narcissist, which type do you believe that she is using my classification? I'll be interested to see your comments pending the release of the already prepared material with regard to Anna Sorokin, also known as Anna Delvey. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.